Hi, today I'll share the story of a leading automotive battery company that reimagined its sales approach to build a future ready growth engine. This is not just about fixing gaps, it is about transforming how sales drives market share leadership. Let's get started. This was a sales transformation which I did while I was working with McKinsey. My client, I'll just give you a brief background. So, my client, market leader in batteries, automotive batteries, was growing at just 5% in the replacement market. Meanwhile, its largest competitor was clocking double digit growth. For those who don't know about Indian battery industry, it is basically a duopoly. Now, despite being the strongest brand, my client's growth had clearly stagnated. The challenge in front of us was clear: accelerate sales and reclaim market leadership. Our diagnostic revealed few critical gaps. First, on the retailer channel, retailers were dissatisfied and increasingly moving to competition. Nearly 70% were degrowing year on year and around 10% churned each year. The major reason was that the retailer were not able to earn healthy margins since there was wide variation in market operating prices. Second, on the distribution model, see, the company's distribution had kind of evolved over a period of 70 years, so it had legacy issues. The company operated an unplanned hybrid kind of network, distributors and direct dealers in the same market cluster with no differentiated pricing policy. This was another reason why retailers were moving away, because it kind of eroded retailer margins further. See, fundamental distribution principles which are implemented in any distribution company, like delivery timelines, assigning dedicated DSRs, and joint business planning, all of them were missing. Thirdly, on sales processes and structure, there was no visibility of secondary coverage, beat plans, input KPIs, and even basic capability building for sales officers were absent. As a result, productivity ramp up times were extremely long, and the team structure was aligned to kind of supply chain and not basis market potential. Fourth, I would say, in terms of post sale service, in batteries, service is extremely critical. Yet the complaint resolution turnaround time was 7 days for the company, while competitors manage it in less than 12 hours. And finally, I would say digital enablement, limited adoption of CRM and analytics. It meant that decisions were mainly reactive and not data driven. So these gaps explain why company was trailing behind the competition. To unlock growth, we designed a sales acceleration program which anchored on four key levers. One, channel restructuring. We mapped over 5,000 plus consumption centers and aligned existing distributors against each of them with clear distribution principle. This mapping revealed that nearly 30% of consumption centers were white spaces with no distributor presence. By appointing distributors in these areas, reach expanded significantly. Alongside that, we revamped the margin policy, which ensured every channel partner was fairly compensated. Salesforce productivity boost. We conducted detailed market mapping in every consumption center to size the retail universe. From this, we identified Pareto customers and built strategies to increase share of wallet with them. Sales planning and activations were driven at granular retail level on a quarterly basis. Regular training on products, pitch, process further sharpened effectiveness. A strong focus on input KPIs became the backbone of the execution. Thirdly, we built a retailer loyalty program. A tiered incentive scheme was launched to drive retailer stickiness and preference to our brand. And last, we implemented dashboards, CRM tools, and real-time time tracking to enable sharper, faster execution on the ground. Together, these levers created a future-ready sales engine, structured, disciplined, scalable. The results were really transformative. In just 12 to 18 months, growth in the replacement market had jumped from 4% to 14% on a Y-on-Y basis. Distributor segment started growing by 30% and became the backbone of the company. And most importantly, retailers began showing stronger preference for the client brand driven by a loyalty program. This was not incremental change, this was acceleration. So, what did we learn? I would say the first and foremost learning for me was channel health is growth oxygen. Retailer margin and distributor ROCE must always be competitive. Another key learning for me was sustainable growth doesn't come just from trade schemes. Those are all technical measures. It requires structural changes in the sales model. That's how the client transforms its trajectory and regain its momentum.